Hi there, it's Mandy, and I got a reader question the other day from a reader who wanted to know what my husband felt about my blogging. And I felt like, in light of all of the posts that I've been writing lately about marriage, that a post on what my husband feels about my new online ministry would be a good first reader's question to start with. The first thing is that before I started online blogging, I was, and I still am, on the leadership team for Good Morning Girls. And over at Good Morning Girls, I help write some of the children's resources that Good Morning Girls puts out. And I do a couple other little things here and there as help is needed. So I've been in online ministry for over a year. And I lead a group, and actually I lead a couple groups, and then I help with the children's resources. And so my husband was pretty used to my online ministry. When I first moved to South Carolina away from Florida, I didn't have a place where I could minister. And so my husband knew that that was a need that I had. And so he's been very supportive in meeting that need. But I will say that as my blog kind of started taking off, I had one share on Facebook from a big-time blogger who is a sweet blessing to me. And she shared, and my page went from like 200 to like 700 overnight. And a lot of you are now readers. So I was really excited about that. And so my blog kind of took off really big over the holidays. And we did some revamping, and my husband was big. He allowed me to put some finances into it, and that. But when I asked him this question, because when I got it, I was like, oh, well, this is kind of not a question for me. It's more a question for Scott. And so I asked him, I said, babe, what do you think about my online blogging and my online ministry? And he laughed. And he laughed because it's been a subject that we have had to talk about in our marriage. It's something that we have had to really work through. And not because he doesn't want me to, but because he wants me to make sure that I keep my priorities straight. And the verse that came to mind was Proverbs 11:1. I'm actually going to read it out of the King James Version because I like the wording of it. It gives the right words that I need. And it says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. And the heart of this verse is for us to not compartmentalize our lives. We need to keep a just weight in our lives. And when we balance the things that we are doing in our lives out, it needs to be an equal weight. We shouldn't be giving our online ministry or any ministry above our family, nor should we take our family and place it above what we do for the Lord. So we have to keep everything. We can't compartmentalize those things. We have to keep them all for the glory of the Lord. And I think that as I have learned that I need to still have quiet time in order to give out to you and to give out to my children, that has helped me keep this just weight. As I have realized that, it helps if I do my blogging during blogging hours. So I made myself specific hours in my day that I'm allowed to sit and do my computer, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. But when that time is done for the day, that's it. I have a space of time in the afternoon that I set out for blogging, and then I have a space of time in the evening that I use to change my Good Morning Girl groups things for the next day. And that's about 30 minutes. So I give myself 2 times a day that I am allowed to sit down and not feel guilty about my online service to the Lord. But I realize that anytime I let myself work outside of those hours, that I begin to feel convicted from God that I am not placing the right priority on my house and on my children and on my husband. When my husband walks in the door, I do not want to have him find me blogging every day. I want him to get his kiss hello and to have dinner cooking and for me to be refreshed. So that's kind of how my husband feels about my blogging. He is 100% supportive of me. He loves my ministry. A lot of times we study together, and I will give him a lot of what the feedback I get or the comments that I get. And so I do run a lot of things by my husband, and he's very proud of me. He feels like I've done a great job. So, but he feels like I need to make sure that I keep it a just balance. And so, because I want to delight the Lord in this. So I'm going to put a few other things about how you can keep, if you're planning on starting some kind of a ministry, how to keep that just balance, and I'm going to put that below this video. Give me some comments and let me know what you think are ways that you can keep your priorities straight in all the things that the Lord has given you to do. Do whatever the Lord has given you to do, and do it heartily, and do it as worship for Him.